everyone. I'm Jackie. I'm the director of the Chobani Incubator. Really thrilled to be here today to talk to you a little bit about the Incubator. So Chobani believes in the power of food as a force for good. It's what we're all about. It's our reason for being. Loved hearing the shout out yogurt for what you think about when you think about Chobani. But the Incubator is really all about how we want to be seen in the world and the impact we want to have. So the Incubator is a natural outcome of that, helping us launch the next generation of heroes for that movement.
What do you think about when you eat? Do you think about where your food comes from? How it's made? If it is good for you? These are the things Chobani has thought about since the very beginning. So each year, we nurture new friends who think the same way by mentoring and supporting them to help them keep doing what they are doing. So when you do think about your food and where it comes from and how it's made and if it's good for you, you can rest a little easier because we believe in better food for more people. And this is our way of bringing better food to even more people.
So I wanted to share that video just to give you a little summary of what it is. That was our founder, Hamdi, in the video. And it's really, this whole program is really born out of his vision. He couldn't be here today, but I thought we could at least have his voice. The program is really born out of Hamdi's vision for paying it forward to the next generation. This year is Chobani's 10-year anniversary, so it's really not that long ago that Hamdi himself was in the trenches building the company up. And if you're familiar with Chobani, and I'm sure many of you are, there's probably some food entrepreneurs out there in the audience, how special it is for a company like Chobani to have grown to the size that it has and the time that it has and to have the role that it does. So this really is all about Hamdi's vision for paying it forward, finding the next generation, finding those who can do to their categories what we did to ours by innovating, offering a better option and growing. So, let's see. So yeah, our mission is better food for more people. So I want to talk a little bit about the better food piece of this in terms of who we're working with and how we do that. So these are some alumni from the program. So the Chobani Incubator is all about finding the next generation of food entrepreneurs, food innovators. We give them access to a little bit of capital, but most importantly, access to all of Chobani's internal expertise and leadership. So in terms of finding those companies and who we're working with, here's kind of an example. Hopefully you've heard of some of these companies, but some of the innovators that we're excited about and who we think represent better food are companies like Banza, which is a chickpea pasta company, taking a staple food, making it healthier, a high-protein, gluten-free version. Kettle and Fire, bone broth, an emerging category, something like Greek yogurt once upon a time. Misfit Juicery is an awesome company, taking misfit fruits and vegetables that would otherwise be thrown away, turning them into cold-pressed juice. So a perfect example of a really mission-driven, purpose-driven company. By growing, the bigger they get, the more waste they reduce. So it's really tied into what they do. Love of the Wild, same thing in terms of commitment to a mission and a purpose-driven company, commitment to sustainable aquaculture, frozen fish. Farmer Willie's, again, this kind of healthier version of something people love. They make an alcoholic ginger beer with a fraction of the sugar that's super high quality and much better for you. And Peak Tea Crystals is another awesome one. They're in terms of innovation. We get excited about companies that are playing around with formulations, ingredients, packaging, formats that aren't out there. And they make an instant tea crystal. That's a really high quality tea, but a totally different format. So we get excited about that type of innovation. But there's another half to this mission, right? Better food for more people. We believe that brands like those ones, and probably like many the companies you're working with as well, represent better food. Small companies are doing better food really well, but the more people part of the equation is a challenge too, right? Scaling up and growing. So that's why we started this program to do that. So let's talk about the numbers a little bit in terms of that more people. We had over 550 companies apply to our last round, and that represented about 22% year-over-year growth. So really competitive process, but it's exciting for us to see that there's a lot of interest out there. There are a lot of great companies. And in terms of how we help them and how we want to see them grow, we're really excited at the early indications of growth from that first cohort and our second cohort who just wrapped up. But from the first class, distribution growth has grown by about 300% since the start of the program, and that represents 2x revenue growth year over year from 2016 to 2017. These are typical metrics for us to look at, for investors to look at, but we're really excited about that. We know that better food can only have an impact in the hands of more people. So those are the kind of things we look at, and that's what we want to help companies do. We engaged over 150 mentors internally and externally, so we have all kinds of leaders in the food movement who want to be part of this and want to help the companies hit those numbers. So our applications are currently open. We expect to have over 650 applications for the next class. So that's what I'm here to promote and encourage all of you out there with food companies or who know food companies would be a fit to do. So we want to continue to meet those food innovators and encourage them to apply to the program. So I want to talk just a little bit about how it works and what the content of it is. We look for innovative early stage food and beverage product companies, like many of the ones out on the show floor at the show. We provide we provide capital, equity-free capital. So we're not asking for anything in return, no strings attached. Essentially, it's a grant, $25,000 to the companies in the program. And while we know this is a very capital-intensive business, those of you food entrepreneurs out there are doing one of the hardest jobs there is. So we know capital is important, but the real meaningful piece of this program is the actual programming. So we get together monthly for mentorship, for workshops, for sessions with all of Chobani's team and people, and with each other. There's a lot of peer mentorship that comes out of it too. But we do in-person programming. We cover travel for all of that too. But we also tap into our extended network to help companies grow. We know that for food companies, what's most helpful is, around distribution, is meeting retailers and buyers and finding new outlets to sell your product, but also investors if that's the direction you need to go to grow. So we tap into that network to help you grow as well. In terms of what that programming actually looks like, my background prior to Chobani was working with entrepreneurs at an organization called Venture for America. So I have a background working with aspiring entrepreneurs, early stage companies. It's really important to me, and our North Star in building this program was, for entrepreneurs, time is one of the most precious resources you have. We don't want to waste anyone's time. We want this programming to be tailored, specific, and super relevant and helpful for you. So we do very customized workshops focused specifically on companies' challenges. We do a lot of one-on-one sessions, knowing that that's sometimes the most valuable thing you can get out of it, is bring your specific challenge to the table to the person who works on that full-time and is an expert in it. We visit Chobani's plants in upstate New York and Twin Falls, Idaho. We do field trips to retailer headquarters so you can build a relationship with some of these major national retailers. We do gatherings at trade shows like this one, and it all culminates in a demo day for retailers, buyers, and investors. So we want to kind of tap into the full network to help companies grow. And in terms of the topics, curriculum topics, and what we look at, they're pretty much all the things. And we know when you're an early stage team, if you're a team of 2 or 3, you're probably wearing a lot of hats. You're doing all of these things. There is no full-time marketing team broken down into every different category. So we it's like drinking from the fire hose a little. We try to help you prioritize and kind of come up with an order of operations for tackling. But all the topics you see here are the things we look at, in sales, retail perspectives, working with the buyers, getting their perspectives specifically, e-commerce, broker management, relationship management in general, how to be successful in sales more generally. I think sales is the lifeblood of any early stage company. You're basically, all your job is in those early days is selling the product. But marketing is huge. I think branding, packaging, social media, trade marketing and pricing, some of these more kind of specific things to the industry that you may, the nice thing about food is it's universal. You don't have to have a background in food to make a great product and try and get it out in the world. So we want to help you lower the barrier to entry for some of that and tackle those specific things. Manufacturing, same. Production, quality, you get access to, the quality scientists on the Chobani team to make sure that, you're tackling what you need to. Finance, operations, you name it, we cover every topic and want to help companies grow. As I said, we have lots of people internally who are involved, lots of experts at Chobani, but we know there's external partners too that are important. We work with other kind of later stage brands like a Sir Kensington's or even a Birchbox. We work with founders to help on that and really tap into our full network to support you. And I know it's important to any potential applicants out there. I wanted to cover and talk a little bit about what we look for. I think that this shouldn't be the kind of thing where we have our rubric and we have our, we're the judges on one side of the table saying, oh, we hope you meet the bar. I want to kind of shout it from the mountaintops of what kind of companies we're looking for, because I'd love to see more companies like this in the world, and food companies that tackle this and start from, square one with these kinds of things in mind. But again, going to that, more people, we are looking for potential to scale. So we always kind of use the Chobani of X. When Bonza came to us, they said they wanted to be the Chobani of pasta. They wanted to have that growth story. We love to see that ambition and see that potential. Are you offering an innovation that's differentiated enough with enough product market fit to maybe grow to that size? That's exciting to us. But a lot of things we talk about are what we call our DNNA. So products that are delicious, nutritious, natural, and affordable. Accessibility is really important to us. We know that accessible pricing can be hard when you first start out. That's what we want to help you navigate to keep your products accessible. Team and talent. I think great founders know what they don't know, or at least know that they don't know everything. So you really try to supplement your team with the skill sets or the knowledge that maybe you don't have. Maybe it's advisors, maybe it's mentors or investors. We look for companies that really have a good balance of skill sets and knowledge on the team. Growth potential, product market fit. We are looking for something that can really scale and make an impact. And innovation, as I mentioned before, much like Chobani did to the yogurt category, we want to see, are you really differentiated? Are you standing out in your space? Have you identified some white space to tap into? And kind of my big high-level thoughts around this are really around, for founders specifically, what we look for and what we get excited about, and really is kind of the best formula for growing a company, is to be a problem-oriented founder rather than a solution-oriented. Not so much like, I found the thing, people like protein, put protein in it, and we have, problem solved. I think people who are obsessed with the problem they want to solve and really focus on that and talk to everyone around it, those are the ones who are going to really make an impact in our food systems. That always comes out in a founder, that passion for solving a problem specifically. And I would encourage you to think of your product or your business as a problem you're trying to solve and have that be your motivation. So would love for any food companies out there to apply, join our movement. If you know any food entrepreneurs or companies that'd be a fit, encourage them to apply. Our applications are open until January 30th, and you can apply at ChobaniIncubator.com. Thank you.